Hey guys and welcome back. Oh gosh. Hey guys and welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm going to talk to you a little bit about 5 rules that I believe you should follow always, no matter what, when it comes to makeup. I got thinking this past week and I'm a firm believer in being creative when it comes to makeup and in saying a lot of the times that there are no rules as far as the application goes, but over the past week I was thinking about the rules that you should really always follow, the rules that I have broken, and that's how I know that they should be rules. There are just some things when it comes to makeup that you really should follow, and when you do, it will really help you look your best. So I wanted to sit down and share those with you guys. Before we get into this video, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. And as always, if you're already a subscriber but you want to be notified, just hit the little bell, and that'll just mean you'll get a little notification when I upload and you can be one of the first people to watch. So if you guys want to hear about my 5 makeup rules that you should always follow, then just keep watching. Like I said before, these rules are something that I came up with because of trial and error. They are rules that I have broken before, and I've just realized that if there's going to be any staple rules that you should follow when it comes to makeup, these should be at least the first 5 that you should always stick to. Rule number 1, make sure your foundation matches. This is probably one of the hardest rules to really follow, especially when you're picking up foundations at the drugstore, because sometimes it's hard to guess if you don't have a tester. And believe me, I have gotten this wrong so many times. It's not until recently that I realized my own skin tone and its undertone, which has really helped me figure out what foundation shades to look for in a foundation range. So for example, I am usually fair to light with a neutral undertone. And what that means is I am a fair to light skin tone, and a neutral undertone means that there is both yellow and red tones in my skin. Some people just have a little bit of red, and usually those are referred to as cool toned skin tones. And then when you have a little bit more of like an olivey or a warmer undertone, that means you have a lot more like yellow in your skin, so usually you would be a warm undertone. But me, I'm a good mix in between, so that is called neutral. So it's really good to maybe go see somebody who can help you with your foundation shade matching if you're not sure where to even start. I personally found that super helpful in my personal foundation shade matching journey. I went to an Estee Lauder counter one time at Dillard's, and they had this really cool machine that just calculated my undertone and my skin tone. They found me a perfect match in their Double Wear foundation, and from there I was able to really understand kind of what my skin tone was. And so when I go looking for different foundations, I can kind of use those shades as a general ballpark because I know they are my exact matches. So if you guys would want to see a video on like how to actually test out on yourself foundation shades and how to find the best match for you, let me know. I could go into way more depth with this topic, but I just wanted that to be the first rule because nothing is more of a dead giveaway than a foundation that doesn't match. So that is rule number 1. Always make sure your foundation is matching your face and also your body. Rule number 2 that I thought of is all about brows, and this is also shade matching when it comes to brows. It's so important that you don't go too dark with your brow color. The darkest you ever want to go is your natural brow hair color, and even then that can sometimes be a little bit too dark. I personally like 1 to 2 shades lighter because the brows are the first thing that you notice on somebody, and if they're done wrong, it's also going to be a dead giveaway, and it can really take away from the rest of your makeup and from your face, and it can make you look a little bit scary and a little bit harsh. So be sure when you're choosing a brow pencil shade that you are going with your natural brow hair color or a little bit lighter. Also, the undertone in the brow pencil does play a part in brow pencils as well. Make sure that you match your undertone. So for example, my hair is a little bit more ashy and a little bit more cool toned, except for on the ends it gets a little bit warmer. So I always try to find a brow pencil that is a little bit more cool toned, which means it will be a little bit more gray and a little bit more ashy in the undertone versus a warmer color that will pull a little bit too orange on me and can really botch my brows. I've done this before, and it wasn't that long ago, I actually just picked a shade and it was a couple shades lighter, but it was the complete wrong undertone, and my husband was like, why do you have orange brows? Make sure when you're choosing your brow pencil that it is 1 to 2 shades lighter, and the darkest should be your exact brow hair color, and also make sure that your undertone matches your natural hair color or your natural brow color, I guess I should say. So important, and it's a dead giveaway when you get it wrong. So that's another rule that I really felt like should always be followed. Rule number 3 is maybe an obvious one to a lot of you, but recently I taught a class and I realized that some people actually are not aware of this. So rule number 3, when you're using a beauty sponge of any sort, make sure you're using it damp. I know a lot of people may already know this, but there were some that when I expressed this to them, they were like, what? Really? Like, I've never done that before. And let me tell you, once you do, it changes everything. It really just helps your foundation and concealer blend better on top of each other. It really helps everything just like blend into the skin better. That's how they're designed to be used. So what I like to do is I like to run my beauty sponge underwater, and I just give it a good squeeze until it's full of water, and then I squeeze all of that out, and then I dab it in between a towel to just get that last bit of extra water out, and it's ready to go. You obviously don't want like water dripping out of the sponge. That wouldn't be good, but you always do want to make sure that your sponge is not dry, but that it's damp. It will really, really change your makeup application. Trust me on that. So that is the third rule that should never be broken. Rule number 4, I've learned this one the hard way. Be sure to pay attention to the formulas that you're using and how you're layering them. And what I mean by that is make sure that you're not layering like a cream on top of a powder, because it will just apply super splotchy. You're gonna wanna make sure and pay attention to when you're using like creams and powders. Most of us use both creams and powders in our makeup routine. And it's really important to make sure that you're doing all of your creams first before you set it with powder. There's been so many times where I'm just going with my normal routine, I set my entire face, and I go in and I want to use a cream highlighter, but I've already powdered this area, and it just ends up looking way too splotchy. It is totally possible to use the same type of product in the 2 different formulas. For example, if you're wanting to use both a cream blush and a powder blush, this is how I would do it. I would make sure that my concealer, my foundation, and my cream blush was on first. I would set it with powder and then go on top with the powder blush to just further brighten it. So make sure that when you're layering products, you're doing them in the right way. Obviously, powder can always go on top of cream, but make sure that once you do that, you're not putting a cream product right over top of that. So do all your cream products first and then do all of your powder products, and you will get a much more seamless, beautifully finished result. So that's my 4th rule. Rule number 5 is probably another obvious one, and it's one that I've broken so many times. But rule number 5 I felt was to always take your makeup off at night. I know this is something that you read in every magazine article, and it's stuff that your mom probably told you growing up, but it really is so important. Your makeup isn't going to look as good if you're not taking care of your canvas or your skin, so to speak. So it's really important to make sure you remove it all, cleanse it at night, and put a really nice moisturizer on so that while you're sleeping, your skin can rejuvenate itself and it will be ready for the next day, and you will have beautiful skin ready for makeup. I know sometimes it can be so hard when we get home really late or we're busy all day and we just are so exhausted. It's so easy to just fall asleep. A good way that I like to deal with this personally is to have micellar water nearby. So I like to have my makeup wipes and I just take off my eye makeup with those, and then I'll just take a cotton pad and wipe off the rest of my makeup with the micellar water, and that will help break down dirt and makeup. So if you don't get like a thorough cleanse, at least do something like that. So have some micellar water in your cabinet, but always, always, always take your makeup off. Your skin will thank you in 30 years from now. So there you have it. Those are my 5 rules when it comes to makeup. Let me know in the comments below if you've got a rule that you always follow. Share it with me. I would love to hear your rules. I hope you guys found this helpful. Let me know if you guys like videos like this where I kind of just do little quick tips and tidbits, I guess. Quick tips and tidbits. That's nice. But let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this video. I love you guys so much. Seriously, thank you for all of your love and support. Your comments never cease to amaze me. I am so grateful. I swear I have the best family on YouTube. Every single one of you are such gems and are so sweet, and I'm so grateful that we're a nice big family here on YouTube. So thank you for your love and support. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for watching. Seriously, I would not be here without every single one of you. So I love you guys so much. Hope you stick to the 5 rules, and I will see you guys in my next video. Love you. Bye!